Hi everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. So in this video, we want to discuss true and false solution. True and false solution. So a true solution is it is a homogeneous mixture of our solutes in solvents. As we all know that solutes plus solvents will give us a solution. So a true solution is a homogeneous mixture whereby our solute is completely dissolved in the solvent without any traces. So a true solution is a homogeneous it is a homogeneous mixture where our solute where is completely the solute is completely dissolved in the solvent. For example, our salt solution. So when you put salt in water, for example, you are going to have a complete mixture of the salt and the water. Your sugar solution, just so another example, when you mix copper sulfate, solution. So this is when we mix these things in water, we will find out that the particles of this substance will actually be dissolved in the in our solvent, that is in water, completely without finding any trace of it. So one of the characteristic of a true solution is that number one, the after the mixture, that is after the reaction, the that is after the reaction, the solute particle won't settle. The solute particle won't settle at the bottom of the container. So, when you have the mixture of salt and water, after you've mixed it, so if you let it rest, you are not going to find salt solution at the bottom of, you are not going to find salt particles at the bottom of at the bottom of the water. So that shows that it is a true solution. All right. And also, true solution are always the particles of the solutes. Particles of solutes are always above, they are below 1 nanometer. They are below 1 nanometer. So that is on the, and another thing there is that light can pass through them. Right. So when you pass light through there's a true solution, light should be able to pass through them. So that is the light will not be scattered. So light can pass through them. The light should not be scattered. So that is a true solution. And also, at the end of the reaction, you are not going to find particles. So there is no particle at the end of the reaction. So that is a true solution. Don't forget I said so true solution is a homogeneous mixture where the solute is completely dissolved in the solvent. All right, so let's talk about false solution. So false solution is an heterogeneous mixture. It is just opposite of true solution. False solution is is a heterogeneous mixture, rather is a heterogeneous mixture whereby our is a heterogeneous mixture whereby the solutes is not completely dissolved in the solvents. Is not completely dissolved in the solvents. So that is a false solution. It is like, most times, it is always similar to, that it looks like a true solution, but you still see some particles in it, which shows that it is not a true solution. And we have two main types, that is our suspension and colloid. So what is suspension? Now, to understand this, let us take this for example. When you put sand in water, now what do you notice after you've mixed it, you've checked it? Now you notice that the sand particle will not mix, will not totally mix with the water. So you should understand that a suspension is an heterogeneous mixture, is a heterogeneous mixture whereby there are particles of, the particles of the solutes will be visible. I said it's a heterogeneous mixture whereby the particles of the solutes, the particles of the solutes will be visible or to be noticed. So you can notice it with earlier when I was explaining true solution, when in a true solution, now you won't notice the solutes in the solvent after the mixture, after it has formed solution. You won't notice. And also when you pass it, when you view it in a microscope, you won't really see it also. I mean ordinary microscope now. So but suspension, it is noticeable with our eyes, and also using microscope you can see it. So one of the characteristics of a suspension is that, number one, the particles will settle at the bottom of the container at rest. So after, let's say this is our container now, and this is the water, and you put this in inside. So after the reaction at rest, you find out that at the bottom of this container, you are going to find some particles at the bottom. So that shows that is a suspension. And also the particles are noticeable. They are noticeable with our eyes. Particles are noticeable with our naked eyes and also with ordinary microscope. And the particle size is above 1000 nanometer. So the particle size is above 1000 nanometer. All right, so this is suspension. It is a heterogeneous mixture whereby the particles of the solutes will be visible in the reaction. Then you should know that there is light scattering. So when you pass light through a suspension, now due to this particle, I told you earlier that the particles will be inside. So it is when it is at rest, that is when the particles will come to the bottom. So due to the particles inside, it will scatter the light. So there will be light scattering. So light do not pass through a suspension. So let's talk about colloid. Colloid, right? So colloid is also a false solution, but here it is a heterogeneous mixture A heterogeneous mixture that cannot be noticed, that cannot be noticed with our bare eyes, except we use microscope. So what we are discussing is this: a true solution through the if you view it with our eyes, you can't see the particle cannot be seen, and if you use microscope, the particle cannot be seen. A suspension, with our bare eyes the particle can be seen, and with microscope the particle can be seen. But colloid, you won't see the particle with our bare eyes because it will look like it has dissolved finish, except we use microscope. So that is a colloid. A colloid is a heterogeneous mixture whereby the particles of the solutes cannot be noticed with the eyes except you use microscope. So one of the characteristics of a colloid is that, number one, particles do not settle at the bottom. So when you settle the particle, it does not settle. That is when you put the reaction at rest. So if you don't shake it and you let the container to be at rest, there will be particles inside, but it won't be noticed with our bare eyes. So the particles do not settle at the bottom of the container. So that is number one. Number two, the particle size cannot be noticed with our eyes except to use microscope. Another thing is that is another characteristic. So that thing is the particle size is between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer or 100 nanometer. So it's between this range. All right, so the particle size will be between this range, and also there will also be light scattering because there is particles in it, though we can't see it because it looks like, it just look like it has mixed, but it has not mixed. So there is light scattering also in our colloid. So that's that. So let's talk about solvents for paints and oil. So the solvents for paints and oil. Solvents for paints and oil. So we all know that solvent is the liquid that is a liquid that dissolves a solute. Abi? So solvent is a liquid that dissolves a solute. Now, as we all know, when you put oil inside water, it is not going to form a true solution because it won't mix. Oil plus water won't mix. You all know that. So there are some solvents that we use instead of water to dissolve oil and paint. And examples of that kind of substance, we have turpentine. You can use kerosene. You can use xylene. You can use toluene. Some of our organic, some alcohol, that is the alkanol family. Some of them, they can make research more. So, and I would love to see your questions in the comment section. So these are the substances that we use to dissolve paint and oil, and it is because water cannot dissolve paint and oil. All right, so the function of these solvents in paint is that number one, they dissolve the binder and the pigment to form a uniform mixture. So in our paints we have binder and pigments to form our coloration, that is our paint. So our solvents will dissolve the binder and the pigments to form a uniform mixture. So it can be a solvent plus binder, or the solvent plus pigment. All right, so they dissolve the binder and the pigments to form a uniform mixture. That is one of the and you should know that water cannot do that, and that is why this can do it. Another thing is they control viscosity. That is how thick your paint is. So these solvents, they control the viscosity of the paint. The third one is they influence drying rate of the paint. Yes, the function of our solvents for paint is that they influence the drying rate of paints. The rate, that is, if the paint will dry faster or it take a longer period to dry. Then the last one is they help in film formation when the paint dry. So that is, after you've painted a wall, for example, our paints will be liquid. So after we've painted the wall, it will solidify to form a kind of solid on the wall. So that is film formation. All right, so our solvents will help in that solidification of paint on the wall, which is film formation when the paint dry. All right, so these are the functions of solvents in paint. All right, you can make more research on true and false solution, and also on solvents for oil and paint. And if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.